Coming up on the 502 Report, utility bills have gone up dramatically for many area residents. We'll tell you about a program that's offering relief to some and might be able to help keep your lights on too. Plus, a new wings restaurant is open thanks to a little help from the city. All right. Find out how these friends turn their idea into a reality. And what do bourbonism and music have in common?
Let's make it happen!
Find out next. Welcome to this episode of the 502 Report. I'm Nikki Lechniak. With its food, music, and bourbon scene, Louisville is poised to become the next hot city. And music festivals like Bourbon and Beyond and Louder Than Life are investing in its future.
More bourbon next year? More Louisville food next year? So I just want to say thank you for our great city. Thank you for you guys coming out. And are you ready for a day to remember? All right, let's make it happen. Come together right now over me.
We're in 15 different cities around the country that we produce festivals in. And not every city is the same. Many cities have a no, it can't be done, no, we don't really want you attitude. From day one, this city has said, let's get it done.
Luckily for us, Danny Wimmer Presents stepped up. When you put together music, food, and bourbon, that had to be a success. And they worked really hard to make Bourbon and Beyond a reality. I mean, in its first year, for what that festival did, it was incredible. And it was a huge hit, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have them as a 10-year partner with our city. Really, it's a lifelong partnership is what we're announcing here today.
Danny Wimmer and I have been going to South by Southwest since the early 1990s. We've watched the growth of that conference and the corresponding growth of the city, and we see that same opportunity here to create something really special and unique that will have worldwide attention.
Events like this are important to the industry because it raises an awareness. It gives us an opportunity to get larger groups of people together, and not only mass market, but more importantly for us, to create small experiences within the event to where we can have a meaningful interaction with our consumers.
Bourbon and Beyond exceeded our every wish. We think it was a great success for a first-year festival. The partnerships with the bourbon, with the restaurants, with the community have just been terrific. As a result of the success of the festivals, we started to develop a long-term plan for what we'd like to develop here. And we approached the city about doing a long-term lease in Champions Park. And one of the elements of the deal that we're so excited about is we're committing $500,000 to make improvements to that park to really make it more functional and make it more usable. We only inhabit it for 3 weeks a year. The other 49 weeks, that's an incredible piece of property that this city should be very proud of. And what we're going to do over the next 10 years is dramatically expand the entertainment offerings here in Louisville. Louder Than Life will continue to grow. It will eventually become a 3-day festival. Bourbon and Beyond will continue to grow and eventually become a 3-day festival. Next year, we'll add a country festival. And so if you look at the press release that we put out over the 10-year plan, we expect an economic impact of over $1 billion to the city. Thank you.
So it really is just a culmination of what's going down on Main Street. Today we're here in Evan Williams, and Evan Williams, when they opened, you know, it was a bourbon experience. We tell our clients and visitors when they come in, you know, we're about bourbon, and we'd send them out to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and that made sense. Sometimes they only have an hour or two. Now when they come to Louisville, they can come to Evan Williams, they can come to Jim Beam, they can come to Ofo here in just a few months, they can go to Angel's Envy, they can go to Rabbit Hole. It goes on and on and on.
I think it's really cool to be part of what's becoming the center of bourbon tourism in the state of Kentucky and really in the United States. We're right here on Main Street in downtown Louisville, which geographically puts us in a good spot. But I think more than that, it's just the spirit of the city, the history, knowing that there's so much bourbon history here that really was lost for a long time. You know, the history of bourbon kind of went out to the rural areas, and the Louisville was sitting here like, oh, what about me? And but to be able to revive that in the urban environment has been really great.
And when you think about the growth of bourbonism, in 2011, there were 0 distillery experiences in our city. 0. Today, 9 are either open, under construction, or have been announced.
When New York Times writes an article that comes out in May of last year that says, spend 36 hours in Louisville, it was all about bourbon and food and the neighborhoods and all the bourbon experience.
Today, Louisville is bourbonism. Today, Louisville is the spirit capital of the world. To Louisville, cheers.
The Bourbon and Beyond Festival highlights Louisville's native spirit and related industries with some great music. It'll take place this September 22nd and 23rd. And Hard Rock Festival Louder Than Life drew 60,000 people last year to see performers like Ozzy Osbourne and Incubus. It'll also be at Champions Park, September 29th and 30th. Investment in Louisville is just one of the topics the mayor covered in his annual State of the City address delivered at the South Central Library.
It feels right to talk about the state of the city here. It's a place of possibility, a place where you can learn about the past, the present, and imagine our future. Since 2011, our city has created over 70,000 new private sector jobs, opened 2,500 new businesses. Unemployment is down to 3.5%. Since just 2014, we've attracted $12.5 billion in capital investment, including 25 hotel projects announced or under construction, and nearly $30 million has been invested in affordable housing in these last 2 city budgets together. At the same time, Louisville businesses are doubling down on their investments by expanding. Companies like Ford, GE Appliances, Clarion, Churchill Downs, El Toro, Mint Julep Tours, Heine Brothers, and many, many more. 2018 will be a year of great momentum, opportunity, and change for communities all across Louisville. We're going to keep working at our challenges. Workforce development, public safety, they're both challenges. When you think about crime, overall it's down. It's down almost in every category. But that being said, we need to do more. We're continuing to work to make that happen. I want to thank LMPD. They've done outstanding work. They know we need to do more. I want to thank everybody that stepped up to be the one to make a difference in the life of a young person. Everybody can do that. The future of the city looks bright. I see a thriving city that competes and wins in the global marketplace and confidently claims its rightful place on the world stage. And the future looks good, and it needs to be a future that includes everybody. Let's all work together to make it great.
If you're interested in seeing the mayor's full speech, go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Louisville Metro TV. If you've been wondering about the building under construction at 4th and Broadway, it's a Kindred healthcare facility, now officially open for employee wellness and training.
This is one of the iconic corners in our city right here at 4th and Broadway. And when you take a corner like this and tie it into the vision that you all had and that your leadership team had to say, we not only want to make this great for our company, we also want to make it great for the city.
The opening of Kindred Square really is a milestone for our company. We think is going to enable us to better support, most importantly, our caregivers and our teammates, the families and the patients they serve, by giving them, as we always try and do here at Kindred, the resources really they need to be the best at what they do. Our folks are going to be able to come in from all over the country and really get trained in an incredible way to help our patients and our families.
Forbes magazine has named Louisville as the national epicenter for wellness and aging care. You are one of the main reasons why that happened. So it was really important to the city that Kindred decided to stay here and grow here.
The plaza area around the complex will be open to the public, and Kindred is leasing out space to what will soon become a location of the Bluegrass Brewing Company. Interested in starting your own small business? Metro government offers resources to help support you along the way.
1, 2, 3, 5 is 8.
Louisville's a great city for small businesses.
We love to buy local and keep it local.
And we want to keep promoting that. Louisville Free Public Library, in conjunction with the NIA Center, we are hosting an Entrepreneur Fair.
It's right down the street from where I live at, so it made it very accessible.
We have a lot of vendors here.
This is small, it's hands-on.
Showing our different resources that are available, anywhere from mentorship to small business loans, to just any kind of resource that might be available.
I have sat in the classes since 10:30.
We have tons of sources, lots of people that will help steer you in the right direction.
I wanted to make some connections, learn how to get a business plan going, how to look up either grants or loans that I may be eligible for to build my credit back up. I've been able to do all of that, and someone was just like, "You're the person we're looking for." So I was very excited about that.
The library typically hosts a larger entrepreneurship event in June. Until then, check out your local library for resources on starting a business, or call the NIA Center at 574-3700. 4 entrepreneurs from Chef Space, the kitchen incubator, recently took a leap to a storefront business, and they're hoping the investment pays off.
The dream actually started in the kitchen, just playing around and mimicking off chicken wings. That's one of my favorite foods. Just kind of going from the basis of saying, hey, I'm gonna cook these in the kitchen, to actually making a recipe one day and having people trying them. And when you start hearing people tell you you need to be selling these, then that's when the business idea started to roll out. All right. Today's the grand opening for Daddy Rich's. Once I got the idea of saying, you know, this could be something that actually drive into a business idea, I kind of really started putting more focus towards it. It really started around living with my grandmother and my mother and just watching them cook in the kitchen. It was either wash dishes or I learned how to cook. So I kind of learned from them, mimicked what they was doing, and kind of took it myself and went on with it. So the food truck was our first idea. We was thinking, hey, let's go that concept, let's go that route. Learning about Chef Space and the opportunities that you can get there without having so much overhead, it kind of gravitated us like, hey, we need to start here. I would recommend Chef Space because it's a good opportunity for you to go and learn your craft a little bit more. You kind of get to dig deep in what you specialize in. So Chef Space for us was like a college opportunity. Graduate college, and then we feel like we're in the pro leagues. We just want to say we thank everybody for coming down and showing us support. We're going to expand Daddy Rich's throughout Louisville, so we just want to let Louisville know, be prepared to be ready. Yep. I was born in this neighborhood. To grow up around this neighborhood of West Louisville and to be able to come back and give back to the community like we are, it's a blessing. A lot of things that come your way as being a business owner. But those type of things, I feel like it doesn't stop you, it should motivate you. More people should gravitate towards this area to try to uplift it and keep pushing. If you have a business idea or if you have a passion for something, you can start off small with it, but it can gravitate and become something much larger. Anybody want a wing?
The Friends were able to open Daddy Rich's thanks to a $10,000 micro-business loan from the city. You can check out their menu on Facebook. The flu season has been especially rough this year, with more than 600 confirmed cases in Kentucky. But there's another virus that's on the rise in our area, Hepatitis A. What is it, and how can you stay healthy?
Hepatitis A is a vaccine-preventable communicable disease. It's primarily spread by poor sanitation. If people haven't washed their hands well, then that can get spread. Symptoms of hepatitis A include common things that you might see with a stomach virus like nausea, vomiting. One of the major things that you'll see with hepatitis is jaundice or yellowing of the skin. So right now with the hepatitis A outbreak in Louisville, we are seeing that a lot of the people being affected by this outbreak are those who are homeless and those people who are using drugs. We are offering hepatitis A vaccines in conjunction with our syringe exchange program. We have gone out to several homeless shelters. The incarcerated population also tends to have a high degree of housing instability as well as history of drug use, and so we've been working with corrections to try to get the inmate population vaccinated. In Kentucky, the state has recently sent out the mandate that all children entering school be vaccinated against hepatitis A. Any adult can also get the vaccine, and there are other high-risk groups that we're not seeing in the outbreak at this current time. So one of those groups is men who have sex with men, so if they have not been vaccinated, they should go ahead and ask their healthcare provider about vaccine. If someone knows that they have been exposed to a person with hepatitis A, they should seek medical attention immediately. The most common thing that we'll do in that situation is offer post-exposure prophylaxis, and that's with the hepatitis A vaccines. And then we go back to hand washing and good sanitation, trying to protect yourself from hepatitis A by always washing your hands before eating, anytime you're preparing meals for yourself or for other people. Once you've been infected with it, you actually develop immunity against it, and you are not considered able to get the disease again. So that is a good thing. The vaccine is incredibly effective, and even one vaccine, within a few weeks, you typically have above 90% immunity against the virus. So I cannot emphasize enough the importance of getting vaccinated, especially for people who are at high risk of developing hepatitis A.
The health department is encouraging all food establishments to practice good hygiene and sanitation to help prevent the spread of this disease. From a small village in Nigeria all the way to District 21 in Louisville, new Councilman Vitalis Lanshima has high hopes for the district he now represents.
If you're looking for someone from anywhere in the world, you come to District 21, and that's the reason why I moved there. It's a great place. We have Beachmont, Iroquois, Kenwood Hill, Salon Park, Southside. The makeup is about 32% immigrants. We have those who are elderly, and then we have young professionals moving into the district as well. I moved to District 21 because I wanted a place that felt like home. So we have people from basically every continent, 106 different nationalities that are resident in District 21.
Congratulations on your appointment.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I have had interest in politics for a while. I have been involved in the different aspects of politics. I have worked for other candidates. We need to do more, and I will do more. We are all in this together. So how can we get everyone involved in the process?
Just to communicate with each other. And
proposed ordinances before us, allowing MSD to increase their rates 10%. The residents were not aware that this was in the works.
As well as stormwater drainage.
So what I decided to do was to have a town hall. I would bring MSD in to explain what was happening.
We're seeing more and more frequently bigger rain events.
We have infrastructure needs, and these are things that we need to do. We need to educate individuals about, what the needs are and why the increase. My goal is to be accessible.
Plus, there needs to be a light or something there.
We can talk and just have a conversation. Those are some of the issues that I want to hear about. They feel like we care about them, and then I take those voices and then we put them together, and then we create a plan for our district. And hopefully, those plans will help us be successful. So it's not about me, but it's about what we can do as a community to move forward. How can we take things that have worked great in West Louisville and transplant them to the South Louisville? Or how can we take things that have worked great in East Louisville and transplant them to South Louisville? If we're all involved, then we can solve the problems that we have as a community. So I believe I can make a difference, I can make an impact.
Absolutely, absolutely.
To kind of bring about the change that we need in the district.
Really want to see some of the changes made.
If you'd like to contact the Councilman or District 21 office, call 574-1121. Reverend Charles Elliott has been an activist for more than 6 decades, and he continues to advocate for his community. He was recently honored by Mayor Greg Fisher with the MLK Freedom Award.
Dr. Martin Luther King was a prophet that God sent to this world to talk about peace and justice for all mankind. We shared with him how bad we needed him to work with us in the civil rights work. I was only 18 years of age when we all joined together trying to change the way segregation had us living. Dr. King had us to know it's not a black movement, it's a people movement.
When you think back to the days of Dr. King and the marches, and he was there alongside of them, he's from Alabama, Reverend Elliott, so he knows the South and he knows the evil of discrimination. To see how he has positively moved through that.
The riots started right after they killed Dr. King. In every city, in every country, they just burned up everything. So I told them Jesus was the answer. And that's why I set up the program, Feed the People, 1971. We demonstrated for jobs. And that's Muhammad Ali in the kitchen downstairs. We had a Feed the People program.
When you talk about helping people most in need of help, he's the first one there.
When there is an issue involving black, the Reverend Charles A. will be there. They tell things on me. So the old boy been working pretty hard,
The struggle will always continue. It's been this way throughout history, and it's important that people of goodwill stand up to any efforts of evil, bigotry, discrimination, and say that's not who we are as a people.
Hello. We made some progress, but where we are now, we're in a worse condition with our children than we ever been because we never had kids killing kids. I get worried, but I can't quit. We have approximately around 1,500 abandoned properties. We got over 2,000 some odd is almost homeless, living in the city, creating crime and whatnot. And I'm saying take the pistol away from them and give them a hammer and a nail, where they can build a house or they can renovate a house. Whenever we create that kind of a spirit, we can empty the jailhouses. We can put a lot of young men and young ladies back on the role of productive rather than being a liability.
Reverend Elliott is a great orator. He's inspiring, but he also walks the talk. He's the real deal.
But Dr. King used to tell us there will come a day that we will walk together, holding hands, white and black together. And I see that become a reality, to live, to be a part of that, rather than to read about it. It makes me feel good when I can see all of us coming together.
Reverend Elliott is involved in many projects in the community, but he's especially excited about the potential of the YMCA and Health Center that started construction at 17th and Broadway, just down the street from his church.
This is all about financial empowerment.
If you or your family made less than $64,000 in 2017, Louisville's Asset Building Coalition's VITA program may be able to help.
We sit down with them and we make sure that they really understand what they're doing, so they really understand their financial situation. They understand the things that affect their tax return, maybe what they could do different next year to help them be in a better situation.
Call 305-0005 to make a free appointment. The LIHEAP Energy Assistance Program has expanded this year in an effort to better serve its clients.
You have to do what you have to do.
What's your phone number I can reach on?
You just never know what might happen.
It looks like it's taking care of the crisis portion, which is the portion that would, for some reason, have you be cut off if you were unable to pay it.
Historically, we would only pay for a brown bill or a disconnect notice. Now we can pay for the past due balance. If a client brings in a green bill with a past due balance, we'll be able to assist them.
Jenny was going to get cut off today. So without them, I probably wouldn't have no lights today.
Some of our residents here in Louisville Metro are having to decide between paying their LG&E bill or their medication or what types of foods they eat.
When you're on a fixed income, and this is really hard for me, so it's just awesome. This is just really amazing.
That's what the program's here for.
We expect to see more clients, but we can handle the capacity, so I'm excited to open our doors.
Thanks.
No problem.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
A lot of people just take their life for granted. It's just really, really hard because you just never know what might happen, what end of the stick you might be on.
For more information or to make an appointment, call 991-8391 or go to louisvilleky.cascheduler.com to make an appointment. Metro Animal Services has taken a lot of animals in from the cold this winter, but keeping those animals warm and dry was a difficult task.
Things may be laid back at home, but here at the animal shelter, we are busy. We have so many animals that are coming in due to the weather right now. We never have a slow period.
So they put out a call to the community, and you responded.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to donations from individuals and the Humane Society, MAS has enough blankets for the season. If you're still interested in helping the animals, donations of Nylabones, dog bones, and toys are welcome at their two locations, 3516 Newburgh Road or 3705 Manslick Road.
At one point in December, we had 50 empty kennels. Right now, we are back to over 200 animals who need homes.
And if you're looking to adopt an animal, there's the Pay It Forward program. Cats 6 months or older and all dogs weighing more than 40 pounds are free to adopt. As a bonus, the animals will be spayed and neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated. If you're interested in adopting an animal, go to louisvilleky.gov/animal services to check out the animals waiting to be adopted. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.
Metro TV, a public service of Louisville Metro government.